Bulbulia, and I'll be with you for the next hour. As our regular viewers are aware, Just Law is a program where we normally discuss an aspect of law which may be of interest to you, our viewers. And secondly, more importantly, it gives you, the viewers, the opportunity to call in and ask any questions that you have on any aspect of the law. Hopefully, we should be able to cover most areas of English law, from immigration matters, road traffic matters, family matters, personal injury matters, etc. So whatever queries that you have, whatever concerns that you have, or so maybe it's just something that you need a second opinion on, please do call us, and hopefully I should be able to provide you with some advice and guidance in relation to that. Normally we discuss immigration law matters simply because it's of interest to a lot of our viewers, but it's not necessarily restricted to that. On this show we should be able to cover any aspect of English law that you need guidance on. Just a couple of matters before we get going. Obviously it's a live show, so we're only able to take limited details from you over the phone. If we find that your matter is more complicated, then we'll ask you to leave your number with the control room and I will call you back and we can have a more detailed discussion off air. And secondly, as you will appreciate, we're not able to look at your documents in any shape or form. So we're giving you advice in the absence of looking at your documents. So obviously, to some extent, our advice is of slightly generic nature. But having said that, I should be able to give you quite firm advice on most aspects of the law. So it's a live show. The number that you can call on will appear at the bottom of the screen. So please do call in and ask us any questions that you have on any aspect of the law. The number should be appearing at the bottom of the screen. As always, what I tend to do on this show is first of all deal with any updates, anything that's happened over the last couple of weeks which may be of interest to you, our viewers. And then secondly, deal with a topic which may be of some assistance to you. So in terms of update, this is something that I touched on about 2 weeks ago, and it's around this time that there were some amendments that came in to the immigration rules. In particular, amendments which relate to the financial requirement that needs to be met by somebody who's applying to come to the United Kingdom as a spouse. We'll look at that in greater detail after we've taken our first call. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
जी, जज़ाकल्लाह for calling. What's your question?
क्वेश्चन मैं पंजाबी में बात कर सकती हूँ?
जी, उर्दू में अच्छा रहेगा। जी,
मैंने अपनी बहू का वीजा अप्लाई करना है
जी, ओके,
एक दो तीन माह में
जी,
मुझे क्या क्या डॉक्यूमेंट चाहिए बता देंगे आप प्लीज?
जी ठीक है। well, जनरली स्पीकिंग इसमें डॉक्यूमेंट्स बहुत चाहिए। उसमें मैं जनरली आपको बता देता हूँ कि यहाँ का जो आपका लड़का है विल नीड हिज पासपोर्ट टू शो के वो ब्रिटिश है या तो वो सेटल्ड है। फिर आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि पाकिस्तान से उसने इंग्लिश का टेस्ट पास कर लिया।
जी वो तो किया है मेरी बहू ने।
एंड देन शी इज डन द टीबी टेस्ट एज वेल।
जी वो अभी करना है।
हाँ, और जो करना है, एंड द निकाहनामा जो है वो डालना पड़ेगा। उसका जो ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ द निकाहनामा वो पाकिस्तान से
जहाँ से हमें क्या करना?
यहाँ से मेन इशू, दिस टू मेन इश्यूज यहाँ से बताना पड़ता है। वन इज जो फाइनेंशियल इशू जो होता है, जो अगर इफ योर सन इज एम्प्लॉयड तो उसको 6 मंथ्स की वेज स्लिप्स 6 मंथ्स की
मेरे बेटे की 19,000 साल की पे शो की हुई है।
ओके, फैंटास्टिक। सो वो सबमिट करना पड़ेगा 6 मंथ्स वेज स्लिप्स एंड 6 मंथ्स बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स। वेज स्लिप्स भी ओरिजिनल होनी चाहिए, बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स भी ओरिजिनल होने चाहिए, और उसके साथ अन एम्प्लॉयर्स लेटर कंफर्मिंग कि योर सन इज एम्प्लॉयड, when he became employed, what his salary is, when he started on that salary, and whether the job is permanent or temporary or fixed term contract. So basic
बताना पड़ेगा। वो हमारी शॉप ही है, वो हमारा बेटा है, हमारी शॉप ही है।
इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो बताने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। उसमें कोई जगह में ऐसे पूछते नहीं है कि अगर फैमिली शॉप है तो बताओ कि फैमिली की शॉप है, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
टैक्स भी हम पे करते हैं मंथली।
हाँ, वो ठीक है जी।
उसका जो मनी है ट्रांसफर वो हमारी बैंक से मेरे बेटे के अकाउंट।
ठीक है, वो ठीक है। सो जो नॉर्मल जॉब के लिए जो बताना है ना, वही बताना पड़ता है। अगर उसने फ़ोन किया, दिस इज़ द इश्यू, समटाइम्स वो देखते हैं ऐसे जॉब को, और वो जब एप्लीकेशन को देखते हैं फिर वो फ़ोन करते हैं। तो अगर वो फ़ोन करेंगे तो वो पूछेंगे कि आपका वो रिलेटिव की शॉप है या नहीं है, वो पूछेंगे, वो लड़के से भी पूछेंगे और जो शॉप के ओनर है, जो भी है फैमिली में जिसके नाम पे वो शॉप चल रहा है।
जी अभी इस वक्त तो लॉ हुआ है, पहले तो नहीं था, 6 साल तो नहीं था। मेरे बड़ी बहू आई थी तब तो नहीं था, तब तो मेरे बेटे ने सिर्फ 1-2 जवाब दिए थे, हमें तो कुछ नहीं पूछा था।
जी, अभी उसकी एक नई सिस्टम है कि जब आप अप्लाई करते हैं तो पाकिस्तान के केसेस अभी शेफील्ड में आते हैं, तो शेफील्ड में जब वो फाइल देखते हैं और उसको ऐसा लगे फाइल देख के कि इसमें थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टिगेशन करना चाहिए, सम केसेस ऐसे होते हैं जहाँ वो थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते हैं। इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये है कि वो फ़ोन करते हैं। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, जब किसी ने नया जॉब शुरू किया, वो सिर्फ 6-7 मंथ से ही काम कर रहा है
कि मेरी बहू वहाँ पे पेपर जमा कराएगी, हम जहाँ से करेंगे पेपर जमा?
नहीं, यहाँ से करना पड़ेगा। अगर बच्चे के पास ब्रिटिश पासपोर्ट है तो वो आपकी जो बहू है वो जब पाकिस्तान में अप्लाई करेगी तो सिर्फ वो तो वहाँ उसकी पासपोर्ट को जमा कराएंगी, सिर्फ पासपोर्ट वहाँ जमा कराना है।
बाकी जो 2 चीजें हैं, निकाहनामा और इंग्लिश टेस्ट, टीवी टेस्ट, वो हमें कराना पड़ेगा,
सब यहाँ मंगवाना है आपको जी। सो पाकिस्तान के जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स होते हैं ना, उसकी निकाहनामा का ट्रांसलेशन, टीबी सर्टिफिकेट, इंग्लिश सर्टिफिकेट, वो सब यहाँ मंगवाना है आपको जी।
वो वहाँ से सिर्फ पासपोर्ट ही जमा कराएगी?
बस वो सिस्टम चेंज हो गया है, 1 साल से ऊपर हो गया है कि पाकिस्तान में वो सिर्फ पासपोर्ट जमा करते हैं, बाकी के सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स शेफील्ड में जमा करने पड़ते हैं। सो पाकिस्तान से यहाँ मंगा लो, और यहाँ से मैंने जो बात की ना, वो फाइनेंशियल डॉक्यूमेंट्स, वेज स्लिप्स, बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स, एम्प्लॉयज लेटर।
और एक बात और, घर का जो हम घर में रह रहे हैं, हम 3 ही हैं, मेरा बेटा और मैं, मेरा हस्बैंड से 5 बेडरूम का घर है जी। वो लिखाना पड़ेगा जी।
वो घर किसके नाम पे है? आपके
मेरे हस्बैंड के नाम और मेरे नाम, हम दोनों के नाम
जी। तो इसके बारे में, घर के बारे में 3 डॉक्यूमेंट चाहिए घर के बारे में। एक, वो जो डीड्स आती है, वो लैंड रजिस्ट्री
भी भेजने पड़ेंगे।
हाँ जी, वो लैंड रजिस्ट्री में से मिल जाती है आपको, वो ओरिजिनल भेजने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। लैंड रजिस्ट्री, आप उसकी वेबसाइट पे जाते हैं, वहाँ से भी आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। रफली 3-4 पाउंड्स की उसके कॉस्ट है। तो लैंड रजिस्ट्री की डीड्स की कॉपी भेजनी पड़ेगी, इसमें कॉपी ठीक है। फिर एक प्रॉपर्टी,
पहले तो नहीं था, पहले तो सिर्फ एक लेटर ही लिखा मेरे हस्बैंड ने, और एक काउंसिल लेटर लिख दिया था कि इतने फर्द रहते हैं जहाँ, इतने पार्टनर रहते हैं।
नहीं, बात आपकी सही है कि पहले से अभी काफ़ी वो चेंज हो गया ना। पहले तो वो 18-19,000 का भी कोई रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं था वो, पहले तो कोई इंग्लिश का भी रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं था, तो काफ़ी चीज़ें अभी चेंज हो गई है।
आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
नो प्रॉब्लम। अच्छा, जज़ाकल्लाह, आपने फ़ोन किया। अच्छा, थैंक यू वेरी मच। Hopefully later on in the show, when we look at submitting extension applications within the United Kingdom, what we will run through is to some extent similar to the kind of documents that need to be submitted when somebody is making a fresh application from abroad, in terms of financial documents, in terms of the relationship documents, and in terms of documents relating to accommodation. Just a sort of word of caution, as the lady auntie was saying, when they made the previous application, you didn't have these requirements. To some extent, it sounds like previously the process was very, very simple, and indeed it was. The requirement now is quite prescriptive. The rules set out in a lot of detail what the mandatory documents are, how old the documents can be, what kind of format the documents need to be in. So nowadays it's quite strict in terms of the documents which need to be submitted to meet the requirements. So to give you an example, if we're looking at financial requirements, it's not enough that somebody has a job where they earn 18,600. There are specific rules which deal with the documents that need to be submitted, which evidence the 18,600 earnings. When we look at accommodation and the requirement that there should be suitable accommodation for the applicant who's coming to the United Kingdom, again, it's not sufficient that there is accommodation. There are specific requirements which set out how the accommodation is to be demonstrated by way of documentary evidence. So very much, I mean, the system has very much changed now. It all depends on the correct documents. The documents have to be dated correctly. The documents have to be in the right format. So there's a lot of detail in terms of what's required now, which didn't used to exist before. So you need to be very careful that you submit the correct documents. So that's that. Just going back to what I sort of opened up with, which is updates. And what I tend to do is look at something which has come in over the last couple of weeks, which may be of beneficial to our viewers. Now, this is something that I looked at 2 weeks ago, which is the amendment to the financial requirement. So the main requirement is parties need to be earning 18,600. Now, what's happened about 3 weeks ago is that the Home Office has issued revised rules. The Home Office has issued revised guidance as well, which deal with exceptional circumstances where those requirements cannot be met. And in exceptional circumstances, when those requirements cannot be met, how and when the Home Office will look at alternatives to meet the financial requirement. So, for example, when they will look at alternative offers of employment for the applicant coming to the United Kingdom, offers of third-party support, and other means of financial income and support, when they will look at all those factors to meet the 18,600 requirement. So there is now some flexibility within the rules. If you don't meet the 18,600 requirement, then in certain circumstances the Home Office is prepared to look at other types of income to meet the income requirement. Now, the reason that I want to touch on that again is over the last few weeks there are a lot of messages going around, sort of summaries of the amendments to the rules going around, and people looking at those messages, those a sort of a snapshot of what the new rules are. People looking at that seem to be getting the impression that it is sort of like a free-for-all. It doesn't matter that you don't meet the 18,600 requirement. The Home Office will now, in most cases, accept alternative evidence. So, for example, if you have a sponsor in the United Kingdom who's not working, so not able to meet the 18,600 requirement, because of these changes, general public seem to think that because the applicant has a job offer, or there is somebody within the family who's prepared to support the applicant and the sponsor, the Home Office will waive the 18,600 requirement completely and allow the applicant to come to the United Kingdom based on that job offer, based on that offer of third-party support. Now, general sort of consensus within the community seems to be that it's this 18,600 rule that's been done away with, and now the Home Office is prepared to look at these alternative means of support. Now, the reality is that that's completely wrong. That couldn't be further from the truth. It is only in exceptional circumstances that the Home Office is prepared to look at alternative sources of income and funding. So it's only in exceptional circumstances. The Home Office hasn't defined what exceptional circumstances are. So when is it that they will look outside these strict rules which govern that the sponsor must be earning 18,600? What is exceptional circumstances? We don't know yet. But I suspect in most cases where there are no children involved, the Home Office will not look outside the rules. It may well be that where there are children involved, then the Home Office may look at the case as an exceptional case. But again, there's no guarantee of that. It may well be that if there are children involved, and because there are children involved, the sponsor in the United Kingdom is unable to undertake work because the sponsor is looking after children, then in that situation, the Home Office may be prepared to say that, okay, what we have here is an exceptional case. The sponsor in the United Kingdom has children, isn't able to work, therefore isn't able to meet the 18,600 requirement. Now, that's an exceptional case. Let's look at alternative means of support. So in my view, it's only in very, very limited circumstances that the Home Office will look at other means of support. In 95% of cases, the 18,600 requirement will continue to apply. We'll look at that in greater detail after we come back from our short break.